But I'm not gonna be like, yes, he's on steroids. I might be like, I think he is.
Huh, you mean to tell me that steroids are that effective that I can sit on my butt and just inject and I'll just gain 7 pounds of muscle in 10 weeks?
What is up? It's your boy Johnny Street Vive, BB Pro, Mr. Tell Like It Is. We're gonna break down Jeff's newest video, how much muscle can you build? Natural versus enhanced. This is a not or not formula video. Before I get started, guys, I need you guys to go over right now. I'm gonna put the link in the description right now or in this video to go watch Natural Hypertrophy. He does this excellent breakdown on why natty or not videos are really not that good. And the base of the breakdown basically is this. When it comes to natty or not videos on any sort coming from anybody, none of the videos, natty or not, number one, are really coming from a good place. They're not really there to educate, more so than to dry snitch. But also, you really don't end up learning anything. There is nothing really there to tell you what you can do to better yourself as a natural lifter. Is basically saying that this person is on steroids because I think so. If we brought this to court, and if I went to court and I'm like, Your Honor, this guy's on steroids. How do you know? Well, because I saw pictures of him when he was in high school, and then pictures of him now, and he's way massive. That's the reason. I'm like, okay, cool, great. Do you have anything, hard evidence of this person doing steroids? No, Honor. So what's your evidence? My opinion. It's not the full-on truth, it's your opinion. Anyway, so I watched this video and I think it's a really cool video. The only problem I had with this video is the same issue that my video sort of had. And the thing is, if you do not watch this entire video, this looks like a broadcast to do steroids.
In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how much muscle it's possible to build naturally and how much muscle it's possible to build using steroids by looking at real-world examples and scientific studies. Let's start with what's possible naturally. Now, I'm definitely not the best natural bodybuilder in the world, but I did win a gold medal at Canadian Natural Bodybuilding Nationals, so I'll use myself as an example of a natural bodybuilder. I've been training without steroids for about 15 years. I weigh 160 pounds when I'm lean and 180 pounds when I'm bulked at 5'5" tall. Like most people, I put on most of my muscle in my first 5 years of lifting. In my first 5 years, I gained around 20 pounds of muscle. Over the next 5 years, I put on a little more muscle, but not as much, only another 5 pounds or so. Then in the next 5 years after that, it was even less, maybe 1 or 2 pounds. Add it all up, and that's 27 pounds or 12 kilos of muscle that I've built in total.
To give you guys an idea, I can show you the timeline of me lifting. I started lifting when I was 11 years old, and then football happened, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, football and lifting, they go hand in hand. It's amazing. That was it. That's all I needed to know. And I was in the gym. When I graduated high school, looking back, I remember being like, I gained 10 pounds every year from training. And here's me as a young little buck here with my brother, looking like the Urkel twins. We were little nerds, little skinny little kid right there. Cool. 20 years old, I was around 195. I hovered around there until I went and played football at St. Mary's University. When I got there, I was 217 pounds, natural. Okay, we got tested, all that stuff, whatever. All right. When I finished playing, I ended up playing receiver in the end, like a hybrid, running back / receiver. I was 198 actually. My first bodybuilding show, I stepped on stage at 217 pounds. By the time I got to nationals, I went on stage at 226 pounds. This is me at 226 pounds. Fast forward to down the road, and here's me at, I was at the California Pro, and this is 234 pounds peeled after the California Pro. Right now, I am 40 years old, and I weigh less than I did when I started playing college football. 145, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 205, 215, 70 pounds. 70 pounds of muscle. Now, I actually got up even more because I was actually even bigger. I was 225 when I got on stage for the first time. Then it ended up being 235. I went as high in the off season as 270 pounds, but I was more so probably, I would say, lean wise, 265. So from 245 to 265. I gained from when I started lifting 121 pounds. Mind you, 10 of those years, 8 of those years, I spent on testosterone, on cycle, bodybuilding cycle, IFBB cycle, try to win your pro card cycle, try to get to the Olympia cycle. And then I came off, and here I am now, not on anything, and I ate way less than when I did when I started playing football in college. That's how much muscle I put on. Let's keep watching this video because there's some interesting things in here that I need you guys to see, because we need to talk about these things, because this video kind of did almost the same as the video that I did. Because it looks like you're almost promoting doing steroids. Jeff, I know you're not at all, but I know people and know their attention spans. And their attention span says, ooh, you can gain this much muscle. And then they forget to watch the very end, and that's when the important stuff actually happens.
So what do steroids add? Well, let's start with the science. This is one of the most famous studies on anabolic steroids by Boston and colleagues from 1996. You may have seen it before. They split 43 subjects into one of 4 groups. Group 1 didn't train or take steroids. They didn't do anything. Group 2 trained naturally without taking steroids. Group 3 trained enhanced. They did take steroids. And Group 4 did not train but still took steroids.
Watch the video, guys. So anyway, so they had 4 groups. A natural group that didn't train, and a natural group that did train. A enhanced group that didn't train, and an enhanced group that did train. And for 10 weeks they did this study. And at the end of the 10 weeks in this study, the group that didn't train but were enhanced gained 7 pounds of muscle in 10 weeks of doing nothing. Now, you guys are probably like, whoa! And someone watches videos like, steroids can do that? Jeff Nippard said it because Jeff Nippard's very smart. He talks about science and that's it. And check it out, guys. Look, me and Jeff are cool. I think his stuff's amazing. And what he's saying has great validity behind it. But we have to make sure how we say these things. Because this is a kind of like a natty or not video. Right? Because it kind of gives you a idea that some people can just sit around and just do nothing and take steroids. That's one of the biggest, I would say, stereotypes about steroids. All you gotta do is just sit down, not do anything, and you'll gain a bunch of muscle. Right?
The group that took steroids and did not even train, they gained, ready, 7 pounds of muscle in 10 weeks. That's more than 1.5 times the muscle gained by the natural training group without even training. Let's consider the dosing though. They injected 600 milligrams of testosterone per week, which got me wondering if that'd be considered a high dose or a low dose by today's bodybuilding standards. To help me answer this question, I spoke with an anonymous anabolics expert about how much steroids people actually take. In the most famous studies on this, they give people 600 milligrams of testosterone per week. Would you consider that a high dose, moderate dose, or low dose?
It depends on the context of the individual. I would say for an entry-level enhanced user, it would be high.
Okay, so I get that Derek has his own health clinic and whatnot, but guys, look, I see blood work from hundreds of athletes who are prescribed HRT. And I'll tell you right now, I don't care if you are an advanced user or advanced bodybuilder. 600 milligrams is way too much. And here's why. Out of all of these blood work that I see, the average dose I see around that is given to a client is about 150. And that brings them to the top end range of, you know, the more optimal range. It's at the top, peaking at the top. I'm talking at the top. For like in Canada, it's between, I think it's 8 and 32, right? Nanomoles per deciliter. So you're looking at something like, you know, 30, right? 150 milligrams will bring you close, almost very, very close to the tipping point of the highest range of a healthy dose of testosterone that you produce in your body. 600 milligrams is more than 3 times the dose that you would get from a doctor to keep your levels in a healthy range. So it doesn't matter if you've been doing steroids forever or you're a professional bodybuilder. I was like, oh, that's a small dose. Anything over a dose that will push you over the highest range or put you out of the range, and you get your blood marker back and it says high and has a red highlighted H, is too much. It's overdosed. Why? Like everything else in your body. The second that something goes higher than it needs to, the rest of the body's got to play makeup for that one area. So guess what? Cholesterol's all left up. Hypertension, you know, blood pressure, all those things are affected when you go over the range of where it should be. If it's between 8 and 32 and yours is at 45, that's not good. That is higher than it needs to be. 600 is higher than it needs to be. So when it comes down to the group that might have sat on their ass and did nothing and just injected while they did this study, regardless, if they sat down and gained muscle, number one, if they're not training anything, it's not like they're gaining nice looking muscle, because guess what? You have to actually train the muscle for it to actually look the way it needs to look. Two, the risk and reward for doing nothing, for doing absolutely nothing, for sitting on your ass and just taking steroids. You're basically just like, I'm going to sit here and just get toxic and not even train. You know, it's cool to have the stat in there that you can see. It's great to have that there so you can be like, oh, cool. But again, it's going to be very somewhat off-putting, and it's going to be very attractive to the person who watches, who's like on the fence, is like, I don't really want to, I don't know. You know, man, I've been training for like a year now, and I haven't been seeing results. Man, and then I watched the video, I'm like, huh. You mean to tell me that steroids are that effective that I can sit on my butt and just inject and I'll just gain 7 pounds of muscle in 10 weeks? The other part of this thing that no one's talking about, which I don't like, and that's why I go back and circling back to Natural Hypertrophy's channel. Go watch it. Go watch it. The problem with the Natty or Not videos, or Natty or Not anything, is that they really are not there to help you out. They aren't. They are not. Ask yourself this question, and I'm gonna quote my guy again because I don't want my boy to think that I'm just stealing his material. Go watch his shit. It's long, but it's informative. I was like this, like, yeah, I completely agree. When you go to certain channels, and like for me, and I'm like gonna tell you like, hey guys, this is what I did, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, also, this is what you need to do in terms of like, if you want to gain muscle, here's how you actually do it. Natty or Not videos do not share that with you. All they do is just say that this person I think is on steroids because this guy's got more muscle than I think, and because of this, that, and the other, without a single proof, without any proof at all. And they make a video, and then you're like, thanks for telling me exactly what I need to know. But leaving out the important things in terms of value, because what did you just gain from those type of videos? What did you gain? Knowing that somebody is on steroids that might not be, because you really don't have evidence when it comes down to it. Guys, you gotta be, I'm telling it like it is. I'm just being honest with you guys. If you don't have proof, if you don't have hard proof, you are not right. You're not. I've said some things about like some people like, yeah, and like in my confirmation bias around people who are enhanced, I'm like, yeah, maybe, probably. But I'm not like, yes, he's on steroids. I might be like, I think he is. But I'm not going to be like, I think he is, and you need to think the way I think because I think he's on steroids, so I think you need to think that he's on steroids too. No. Because a person that's watching a Natty or Not video is watching the video because they want to learn how to do it without steroids. So where is all the information about training? You know, like, hey, look, guys, if you want to achieve the best physique that you want to achieve, this is what you need to do to build muscle. For the most part, a lot of people aren't seeing the gains that they want to see, mainly because that slight little example I made. I've been training for a year. I've been training for this. Jeff Nippard's timeline of his training is over a couple decades. Mine's over 3 decades. I've been training since I was 11 years old. I am dead serious. And before I was in the gym, I was doing pull-ups, push-ups, lifting paint cans in my basement. That's where I came from. That's where I was. I love that shit. But I got years and years and years of training. So when it comes down to, before we're sitting there and watching videos on Natty or Not and how much muscle I can gain and how much muscle can you really gain naturally versus how much can you really gain enhanced, that shouldn't even be on your mind. Maybe it's interesting, it's entertaining, it's drama, you want to watch it, whatever, or it's our guilty itch. But what you should be focusing on is, how can I optimize my training to take it as long as I possibly can to reap the benefits of consistency, hard work, and dedication? Because for the most part, people who are like so just like, you know, distraught about like their muscle gain and like, you know, I haven't built the muscle that I wanted to build forever, John. I don't know what to, like I do consults all the time. If you want to know anything about training, nutrition, supplementation, mental health, cardio, you got questions about what's achievable, what's not, you know, what can I do, how to optimize my training, how can I get the best out of my training, book a consult. But guys, look, I go through these all the time and I'll hear all of these stories. Johnny, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And I'm like, okay, so, but we're not checking off all the boxes. Before we deem that I can't achieve this because of genetics, or this person can only achieve this because he's enhanced or she's enhanced, we got to look at ourselves and be like, am I doing everything I need to do to make sure I'm building muscle? If you're training hard, if you're eating enough protein, if you're eating enough calories, if you're drinking enough water and sleeping enough, and you're doing that, and then adding that on to a timeline of years, like years, not like 1 year, you need years. So after maybe 5 years, and you're like, I haven't gained any muscle, I need to know what to do, then maybe, I don't know, figure it out then. But like, if you haven't been doing those things, and you haven't been training often enough, you have no right to be looking at what is achievable, natural or not. Because you're not looking at what you can achieve naturally and taking care of those things right now and doing that consistently enough. And that's a little issue when it comes to that's my only qualms I have with this video. I think it's a extremely great informative video to give you an idea of like, you know, what steroids can do and what lifting can do, you know, enhance can do or not enhance. You can kind of get an idea. But again, a lot of things play into the factors of you actually building muscle. Number one, obviously, is genetics. Guys, I gave you my timeline. I've been off for 2 years. I haven't taken anything for 2 years. Since 2012, I've said it over and over and over again. No HRT, no nothing. But I got 30 years of training, and 8 of those years enhanced. Starting off from taking like you know, 250 milligrams a week to taking 1,000. And here I am now, back to where I was 16 years ago in weight. I weighed in at 217 pounds 16 years ago. 16 years right now, here we are in the present. I'm less than that. So what I achieved naturally at 270 pounds when I was 24 years old, I probably could have spent another 5 years and gained another 5 pounds. A little less, a little less, a little less. But again, guys, I had years of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Before we look at natty or not videos, before we look at what you can achieve, you know, what can you achieve, what can you actually achieve, enhance or not enhance, whatever, you have to look to yourself and take care of your own self. Making sure you are doing all the things you need to do to build muscle before we start wondering what's happening over there. What's that guy? Is that guy doing steroids? Is he? Can you really achieve that on steroids? Can you achieve that naturally? Can he achieve that naturally? No. Don't point there. Don't point here. Look in the mirror and be like, what can I achieve naturally? And am I doing everything I need to do in my life to make sure that I can build muscle and to look the best that I can look for what I can achieve? And you're only going to see that over the course of years. And guys, the examples that he's using in here, Chris Bumstead, absolutely amazing bodybuilder, absolutely outstanding physique, hard work, dedication, great. He has an autoimmune disorder and he's playing a risk. He's playing Russian roulette with his life as a bodybuilder. That's facts. Those are facts. For those of you guys who are watching that are natural and wondering what can you actually achieve as a natural lifter or as enhanced, don't even worry about it. Worry about what you can do with the genetics that you have if you put in the dedication, the hard work, and consistency over years. I know you guys don't want to hear that. I know he's like, wait a minute, I can't do this in 10 months? Nah, man. 10 weeks? No. Just don't think about how many years it's going to take you. Don't think about how much you can do in X amount of, think about doing it every single day. Every single day, you are going to do exactly what you need to do to build muscle. So the over days and turns to weeks, it turn to months, it turn to years, you plan a considerable amount of muscle that you can put on. And those of you guys who are not natural, those of you guys who are enhanced, and you're wondering, oh, I can do more? No, more is not more. Less is actually more. Way less is more. I had great results at 150 milligrams. And I remember looking back and being like, man, why the heck was I doing 1,000? And I'm lucky that I made it out without any side effects. I am blessed beyond measure that I didn't leave my bodybuilding career with a messed up anything. So for you guys who are enhanced, I recommend that you do everything you can to make sure you keep healthy and stay healthy, but stop when you can before things get shitty, because they are. But if you're prescribed from a doctor and you need it and it's helping your life, continue as is. That's how it should be. You have an issue, an ailment or something, and the doctor needs to give you medicine or whatever, you take it, right? I know what you're going to say, but you know what I'm getting at. Again, stay in your lane. Let's not worry about how much can someone actually achieve and worry about how much you can achieve and what you need to do to achieve the max results that you need, that you want. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, guys, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, because of overload your life. In the meantime, I'll keep dream chasing. Peace.